Georgia investigators claim they are working to clear the state's untested rape kits. So why is there still a backlog?
A teenager shot multiple times dies here in this neighborhood. Now police are investigating why he ended up here.
Jurors in the Tex McIver trial get a first-hand look at the SUV where the shooting happened, and so did the late fee, plus a preview of tomorrow's closing arguments.
He's been paying for this house since 2011, but now this alleged homeowner says he may actually never get to own the home because of what he calls a housing scam.
And some breaking news tonight. We're getting new details as Union City police try to figure out why a teenager was shot and killed. He was just 17 years old, was shot multiple times, and tonight neighbors are in shock. Christy Etheridge is at police headquarters right now. Christy, what do we know?
Honestly, we're still digging into the facts of this story. Police are right at the very beginning stages of their investigation, so they haven't released much information to us. But here's what we do know. We know the victim was a 17-year-old male who was shot multiple times and died from those injuries. We're told the police were called to a house on Rock Road in Union City. It's a quiet neighborhood in Union City. You kind of have to know where you're going to get to that location. And we don't know why he ended up there. We know he died there, but there are still a lot of questions about why he was there.
At first, I didn't believe it was true because I just did not believe it. I couldn't believe it because Chevelle, he was just over here. Nothing really usually happens on the street. So for this to happen for them to bring it over here, that's messed up.
And that was Jabria Brooks. She says she is the same age as the victim's younger sister and says she doesn't understand why he ended up here in this neighborhood in front of this house. But she says the victim used to live in that area and would come by often. Now, it sounds like the shooting scene actually could have happened somewhere else. So we're still checking in with police to find out those details. Vinny.
All right. Thanks so much, Christy.
All right, time to check in with your speed feed. I'm Natisha Lance. We now know the name of a teen accused of killing his girlfriend and spending the night with her body. The Barrow County Sheriff's Office says 16-year-old Juan Kellogg will be charged as an adult for the murder of Emily Laverne. Kellogg was arrested last Thursday after his mom's boyfriend found Laverne stabbed to death in the family's home. 25-year-old Thaddeus Todd has been arraigned on 31 charges stemming from a string of robberies in Fulton County over the summer. He's also accused of shooting a man inside Midtown's JCT Kitchen after stealing money and a watch. The victim survived, and evidence at the restaurant connected Todd to 6 other robberies. Investigators say it looks like a Lawrenceville man died in a house fire either while trying to escape or trying to save his dogs. Gwinnett County firefighters also tell us there were no working smoke detectors in the home, and explosions reported by neighbors were caused by ammunition and medical oxygen tanks inside the home. That's a sampling of rapper Kendrick Lamar's Pulitzer Prize-winning album, Damn. He was awarded the historic honor today, celebrated for how he captures the, quote, complexity of modern African-American life. And Benny, this is the first album to ever win a Pulitzer Prize that wasn't either classical or a jazz album.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's official now. I mean, hip-hop is here to stay, I think.
That's right.
Yeah,
we're claiming it for the culture.
Right. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
You know, this next story is still one of the most clicked on. Battery after getting into a fight with 2 female service members over a parking spot. Take a look.
It's wrong. I'm pregnant. Hands off him. Ma'am. Put that phone down.
Now, this is from YouTube, but the video's popped up all over social media. It's the end of the confrontation at a Cheddar's in Macon between 71-year-old Judy Tucker and 2 servicewomen in uniform. The women told Bibb County deputies Tucker and her family were harassing them, calling them names, using racial slurs, so they began recording them on a cell phone. That's when they say Tucker lunged at them, even when one of the women told her she was pregnant. Tucker was arrested and charged with battery tonight. She's out on a $650 bond, and her family is also now banned from that restaurant. Well, some metro area families who thought they bought their homes are finding out they don't actually own them. it's pretty difficult to wrap your head around, but this has happened to thousands of people. Faith Abube talked to some local families who are now suing the company they say tricked them into homes they will never own. Faith did some digging on this, so how is all of this possible?
Well, Vinny, the Atlanta Legal Aid Society calls it a scam, and a legal one at that. The official name is contract for deed or rent-to-own transaction.
To understand how that works, I drove to East Point and met Zachary Anderson.
Welcome to my house.
Well, Anderson has all the responsibilities of a homeowner, but none of the benefits.
Roof put on, ceiling, driveway, fence around it. You look around, everything that you see, that's what's been done around here.
See, in 2011, Anderson bought this home for $46,000. It was in foreclosure, abandoned, and had lots of problems. The 57-year-old saw an opportunity to put in work and make it home. But months after signing the papers, he found out he doesn't actually own the house.
Oh, I was just furious.
Anderson had been sold a contract for a deed instead of the warranty deed for the house itself. That meant the investment firm Harbor Portfolio expected him to make repairs to bring it to code, never miss a payment, pay the taxes and insurance, and maybe, if he never makes a mistake, he could own it decades in the future.
We definitely think it was a predatory type of thing.
Darius Woods is Anderson's attorney at the Atlanta Legal Aid Society, which is now helping homeowners who are now suing the investment firm.
Home ownership scam that targeted low-income communities, specifically communities of color, because they face credit barriers. All the paperwork was laid out to make it seem like they were purchasing a home.
Why is this still legal?
That's a good question. There are some states that have regulated contract for deed transactions, but states like Georgia, they haven't.
Despite Harbor Portfolio asking the courts to dismiss the lawsuit, a judge has ruled it can move forward. Anderson sees that as hope.
I'm too far in it now to just give it up.
Well, I reached out to Harbor Portfolio. Harbor's attorneys declined to comment because of this ongoing litigation, but sent me a statement saying what they did is in full compliance with federal law, and they did not target anyone based on race, and they actually think this lawsuit has no merit, Vinny.
All right, so what exactly is predatory lending? Here's a little bit of perspective. It's any lending practice that gives unfair or abusive loan terms to a borrower. It convinces a borrower to accept unfair terms through unscrupulous actions. Now, predatory lending isn't illegal here in Georgia, but can leave victims with ruined credit, unmanageable debt, and even homeless.
Jurors take a field trip just hours before closing arguments in the Tex McIver murder trial.
A freeze warning in effect for parts of northeast Georgia tonight with the cold air sitting on top of us. That's finally going to move away. Warm air returns. I'll let you know if it's going to stick around this time.
And why this teen wanted her prom to be eternally memorable.
Hi, Vinny and everyone in Atlanta. Robert De Niro is on our show tonight. Bridget Everett is here, and we have music from Rex, Orange County, and we get fans to reenact classic movie scenes. Stay tuned, it's a good one.